Would you like to make an opening statement? You can.
Okay, just excited to see to be back in front of Husker Nation tomorrow night. We hope we have a lot of people that'll come out and catch this team and come to another exciting game.
Just after watching the film, what was one of the bigger things that jumped out to you?
It was a little worse than we thought. It felt kind of some ups and downs throughout that game, but we felt like it was a great timing for that game. I think North Dakota State is a really quality opponent that exposed some things. They were really physical, and they exposed a few things with our ball screen defense that we were going to be working really hard to improve. And then we gave up 13 offensive rebounds. And so that's something that, we've been talking about, really taking a lot of pride in, knowing that, without Alexis Markowski in our lineup, that we've got to have everybody contributing in that area. And I thought, North Dakota State is good about being relentless for their pursuit of rebounds, but, we got exposed to something that we know it's just going to get tougher and tougher. And in the Big Ten Conference, that we're going to expect better, even equally as good or better rebounders. And so we probably better get a little more disciplined there.
How do you feel like the post players, all of them are doing? And you kind of got four of them trying to replace everything that Alexis was doing. How do you feel like they're all doing?
Yeah, I think that there's been great contributions from all of them and coming at different moments and different times. And so that's been good to see. Like there's, obviously Amaya Hargrove was really, really good, and thank goodness she got on the bus. I think is what my dad told me. Like I'm glad Amaya got on the bus for this one. But she played spectacular, was really efficient, went 7 for 7. But I thought just showed some toughness and rebounded well. I thought Eliza in her second game, kind of back into the mix, looked way more confident and comfortable than she did even in that first game back after her injury. And so, but Jessica Petrie's been probably the most solid, just staple, just producing, just hitting a perimeter shot here or there, or, being able to get a big basket when we need it, just being comfortable saying, if I need to play the 4 or the 5, I'll do, whatever, we need you, our team needs me to do. And then Petra, I think, hasn't shown her best in the games yet, but we've seen it. We thought she really sparked us in our close scrimmage with Missouri. We've seen it in practice. We feel like she's, maybe in the last couple of ball games hasn't shown her very best, but all those kids are capable of really contributing and bringing something to the table on any given night.
Have you had a moment where you said, well, Alexis would have done that yet, or is that not happening?
Well, it's more so, Sam, when I go back and watch last year's game film when we played Creighton, or last year's game film when we played North Dakota State, and I say, oh, it just kind of reminds me of just, how special she was, the little things that she did and would bring to the table. But right now, on a daily basis, I'm just excited about the young women we have and what they can bring to the table and what they're improving on and bringing. And so that's been kind of where our focus lies.
It almost seems like Britt's ball handling has gone to another level to start this season. Is that something she worked a lot on this offseason, was to improve the ball handling?
To be honest, she's been working hard on her ball handling since she was probably about 3 or 4 years old. And but I think, what has really improved is just she's had a strong desire to work on that ball handling now in game situations and in situations where whether it be all summer, where Marissa, our new graduate assistant coach who's been a pro for 12 years, is just constantly in her grill and just constantly there and pressuring her, or if it's one of our male practice players that just she's going one-on-one against. And I think just the live play decision making and dribbling and things has taken another leap because of her commitment to wanting to do that with defensive pressure and intensity.
Emily and Logan feel the next player a couple of days after getting some games?
Yeah, we feel good. We think we're in a really good place. There's still going to be a gradual ease with those athletes. It's not going to be something where they're going to be full game load probably right away for a little bit as we, try to progress. But I think they responded well to the way we were able to manage them in that ball game.
Amy, back to the front court. How have you just seen Natalie Potts continue to make an impact from the bench, especially on those girls as Alexis hasn't, been here?
Yeah, we had a little time during our film session yesterday to really just, a couple of the players in particular, like Claire Johnson brought up just how unique she thinks it is that the players that are not in uniforms and the way that they celebrate each other and that they are fully invested. And what's crazy is, she's like, I get TikToks that pop up of Nebraska's bench mob celebrations, and, it's kind of a thing. And, and it's awesome to see that during the games and the way that, I remember Jazz Shelley talking a few years ago about how it just makes me want to go do more, lay it more on the line when I'm out there, because the ones who aren't out there are celebrating me at a high level. I think Natalie's really thrown herself into that. But what you guys maybe don't see is that in practice, if we're working on situations and, somebody makes a game winner, like there's nobody that's celebrating it more than Natalie Potts. And the way she's just stayed fully engaged and is a great teammate, and it's so impactful. And just yesterday, she got to hear her teammates kind of talking about that in film, about just what a difference that makes.
Amy, your team's defending the three really well, and overall from the floor, opponents are shooting just 37% against you. Is that the focus, that you guys are placing upon these players to just level up defensively?
Yeah, Kevin, I think we've always wanted to emphasize that, but I think that this year we're fortunate to have some pieces like that just really are making things chaotic defensively. And so we've talked a little bit about, for a couple of years, Callan Hake being a really good defender that just kind of anchors things and takes charges and, does little things to spark and give you, boosts, but her communication and getting people matched up, but Haley Weaver just being, somebody that sets the tone in the backcourt and really just, I know I heard North Dakota State's coach saying over and over, like, we just want to make Nebraska pay for all the pressure, and sometimes they did. But we also forced 20 turnovers and, make some things difficult. And I think a huge credit to those forwards, the front court, because I think they've been intentional about getting out to contest, perimeter shooters that maybe are mismatches normally. And, the confidence that we've seen Amaya Hargrove and Jess Petrie and Petra and Eliza take of just being able to say, we're going to get out to 3-point shooters that are capable in the post position. And I think those things have made a difference here early.
How special is it for you just watching Kennedy fly around out there and make plays?
Yeah, it's really special because I've seen her go through a lot, with 2 knee injuries and have to miss out on a lot. And obviously she's gotten some opportunity here early with some of the injuries that we've seen. And it's opened up some opportunity. And I think she's just so hungry from having so much time go by since her last ball games that she does not take any of those opportunities for granted and just wants to lay it on the line for her team.
Do you get a sense of pride when when opponents get annoyed by her?
Yeah.
In the Creighton game, I mean, she's trying to make a play, the other player gets mad. Like, is there a part of you that's like, that's exactly what I want her to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think that's what she brings to the table is, she can just be pesky and make things difficult, and she needs to bring those kinds of things to the table. She usually makes pretty good choices and decisions with the basketball. She's still learning in some of those areas how to play with a little bigger, faster, stronger, and in that realm, but I think she knows the one thing I can control is just always try to be annoying, glued into the scouting report. If we know this kid's a drive right, let me get in position to take a charge. And obviously, when you take charges like that, Callan Hake, like it's a foul on the other person, it's a turnover for them, and we gain possession back. There's so many positive things that come from just being glued into one little tendency and being able to make plays like that. And those are the things she's going to have to do to impact things for our team.
Amy, last one for you guys at home tomorrow before you hop on a flight next week. What do you want to see from your group, and what kind of challenges could Oral Roberts present? Yeah,
Oral Roberts is going to be uniquely different than what we just saw, and a lot of dribble drive and way more penetration and capabilities of kind of floaters off the dribble and touch shots and not as much dribble hand to a ball screen to a this screen to a back screen like we just saw. So it's just a completely different style of play that we're going to be playing tomorrow. So for us to be able to shift our defensive philosophy that quickly, but to finish defensive possessions with rebounds, and that's where we really need to make the biggest gains right now. Okay, thanks.